When Rahel left, the house simply went quiet. Not the kind of quiet that brings rest, but the kind that settles into corners and refuses to leave. The kind that makes even a big mansion feel small and empty. Ekene felt it immediately. After his wife walked out with nothing but her dignity, Ekene discovered something money had never taught him, that a beautiful house means nothing when peace has packed its bags. He stopped coming home early. Some nights, he didn't come home at all. He stayed in his office long after everyone had gone, staring at files he wasn't reading, answering emails he didn't care about. The light in his office burned late into the night, while his house waited for him in silence. And when Ekene came home, he barely ate. Plates of food Mamoge had cooked with pride remained untouched on the dining table. One morning, frustration crept into Mamoge's voice. Ekene, what is wrong with you? Are you sick? Ekene did not answer. He stood up, paid his keys, and walked out. That was when Mamoge began to panic. For the first time in her life, the woman who had controlled every decision in her son's life felt control slipping through her fingers. Ekene was no longer himself. He was distant, withdrawn, and worst of all, he no longer listened. She tried everything: prayer, fasting, tears, phone calls. Nothing worked. 5 long months passed, and the house remained empty of joy. And that was when pride finally bowed. Mamoge followed Ekene to the one place she never thought she would go, Rahel's parents' house. The first visit was heavy. Apologies did not come easily. The words were forced out with effort. There were accusations, explanations, and long pauses filled with memories nobody wanted to remember. But after much back and forth, Rahel's parents agreed. Their daughter could return to her matrimonial home. What Ekene and Mamoge did not know was this: the Rahel who would return was not the same woman who had left. During those months away, Rahel's mother had not only healed her daughter's wounds, she had prepared her. She taught her how to speak without shaking, how to stand without fear, how to protect herself without shouting. You don't stand for yourself, her mother told her quietly. People will keep standing on you. And when Rahel returned to Ekene's house, she returned ready. For the first 2 weeks, peace pretended to live in that home. Mamoge smiled. She apologized. She spoke softly. The house felt different. Ekene laughed again. He held Rahel's hand again. For the first time in months, he slept peacefully. And Mamoge noticed that was when her jealousy grew back up. One afternoon, Rahel cooked for Ekene. She cooked with care and love, but instinct whispered to her. So she dished her own food and Ekene's food separately and kept them aside, just in case. Later that evening, Mamoge quietly entered the kitchen and poured heaps of salt into the remaining pots. At dinner, Rahel served calmly. Ekene ate. Rahel ate. Mamoge took one bite and exploded. I said it. This woman wants to kill us. She wants to kill my son with high blood pressure. Ekene looked up, confused. What are you saying, Mama? This food is perfect. It's not salty at all. The room froze. Mamoge turned quietly to Rahel, who never looked up. She continued eating, calm and unbothered. That silence spoke louder than words. That night, Mamoge went to bed hungry. The pantry was locked. The fridge was empty. Where is the key? She demanded angrily. I don't know where I kept it, Rahel replied calmly. We'll get a new one tomorrow. And for the first time, Mamoge tasted the bitterness of her own actions. Another argument came. Voices rose. Anger fled. Mamoge lifted her hand, ready to slap Rahel again. But this time, the slap never landed. Rahel caught her hand mid-air. You will not try this again, she said quietly, holding Mamoge's hands. If you do, I will beat you like my child. She released her hand and walked away. Mamoge stood there, shocked. The woman she once bullied was gone. But bitterness does not surrender easily. So one afternoon, Mamoge poured oil on the staircase, hoping Rahel would slip and fall. What she didn't know was that Ekene and Rahel had installed CCTV cameras around the house. They watched everything. Moments later, Rahel screamed. Mamoge smiled. She danced. She believed her plan had worked. As she rushed out of her room to see the damage, her feet betrayed her. She slipped, rolled down the stairs and screamed in pain. This time, it was real. Ekene stood over her, pain and disappointment in his eyes. "Mom, I love you," he said, "but I cannot allow you destroy my home. We saw everything. I never knew your bitterness had reached this level. This ends today." Mamoge was taken to the hospital. After 2 weeks, she was discharged. True to his words, Ekene sent her back to Abuja, not in anger, not in hatred, but in protection of his marriage. After Mamoge left, peace finally entered the house again. Rahel found herself again, and Ekene, he found his voice. 3 months later, joy returned. Rahel was pregnant, Ekene was overjoyed, and in no time, they welcomed a bouncing baby boy. Ekene visited his mother every few months. Mamoge regretted her actions deeply, but some regrets come too late. And so the lesson remains. Sometimes the greatest mistake couples make is inviting a third voice into their marriage. Family is important, but boundaries are sacred. Love cannot survive constant interference. Protect your home. Protect your marriage. Protect your peace. Because not every enemy comes from outside. Some are raised with you.